now at 93. Has the Bilgewater Cutlass. Is going to go back. Has 1100 gold, so he's going to pick up a Giant's Belt to get bigger too. Actually, the ultimate's going to be blown, and surprise, surprise, there's another miss out of Melon. Just not hitting those ultimates today. It wouldn't have been enough to kill him, but it would have been enough to scare him a little bit more. But right now, everything, for the most part, after that really, really quick tower push and Ozone kind of looking a little bit lost, they've pulled it together, and well, it's only 13 minutes into the game, which is always too early, but everything is so close right now. We're just going to keep playing and see who comes out on top. So you look at the items, it's actually a double Doran's Ring and a Chalice onto Syndra, so she's never going to run out of mana, even without the blue buff, able to cast all of her spells, keep the damage rotation coming. The Flare already completed onto Aatrox. A 13-minute Flare is something you'd like to see. And at 9 stacks, so he's got a way to go before that gets going. He spent a lot of time all over the map with the fast pushes, and so here comes Elk, though, maybe going to try and make something happen on Udiproid. Just because you can't get slowed doesn't mean you can't be hooked. The box is going to be popped. A lot of damage coming out on Udiproid. Udiproid trying to fight back, but there's the hook. Udiproid surely will go down. That's going to be Melon giving a kill. And you do not want to get it to Melon, as here comes Envy, but here comes the teleport into the top lane as well. So this is going to be a very, very angry dragon. Rio Silva going to take a lot of damage with a hook light. Oh, the beautiful flash out of Rio Silva. I don't know if it's beautiful because all it does is save his life. A nice hook coming out, and Ozone starting to come alive. It was a nice teleport to get in there for his team. No other kills picked up, but with the one already secured on Udiproid, going across to Melon, that's going to go very, very well because Melon was not as big a factor in Game 2 as he was in Game 1. Alright, so Shyvana in the top lane just going to continue to CS with that Giant's Belt already. Not going to take a whole lot of damage against Caitlyn, who has a BF Sword and a pickaxe. And the lifesteal actually going to be engaged upon Autaka. Does not have the, does not have the Cutlass available. Probably could have chased down there, to be honest. But just not quite enough ward coverage on Ozone to know where everybody was, to know if he was safe to continue doing that. Definitely had the Cutlass been up, I think that would have been an easy kill for Autaka. In the bot lane, it's Melon and Udiproid. Tay in the area should anything go south. I think Udiproid's probably going to be a little bit cautious after what happened in the top lane getting caught out by Elk. And so we'll see if Tay ends up being effective. Ping's coming out, spotting out Elk on Thresh. Rio Silva doing his best to clear out wards in these bushes as well. Going to throw into that bush. Nobody there, so might as well go check it out. They actually are going to spot the pink, so that's another ward taken down by the Rio Silva Karma. But Envy real close. But the shield, the shield from Karma going to allow her to get away, but she does not pick up the ward, so Ozone does manage to clear out that bush, and the ward lives for another day. Alright, so Envy down still about 30 farm, and you know, you hate to see that, but right now in terms of items, not so bad. The early Sork shoes onto Syndra because she scales very well with magic penetration, whereas Lulu going for that Unholy Grail, which is not a bad pickup at all because she's able to slow, shield, speed all over the map. And there she goes again. You can actually see them rotating. Good rotations out of Ozone once again. They did pick up the last dragon, so they have the timer on it. It's going to be up in 10 seconds. Clearing out that ward should let Detonation FM know as well that this dragon's going to be coming up, and look for maybe another fight here as all members are gathered around, only missing Olaf, but Udiproid does have his teleport available, so he can come down and play anytime he wants. There are wards down here as well for him to teleport. Alka's going to step on a trap, try and clear that bush of wards. We'll keep it cleared, and just between the threat of the Vision and Thresh catching somebody out, they're able to take a dragon. They're probably going to lose this top tower for it, however. But if that's all they give up for it, the Dragon, if they can get something out of it, it would be a very, very good trade. The question is, can they? The hook missing out of Elk. Melon trying to get bot lane. And actually, Unipride here going to try and pick something up. Tay, however, here as well. But there's no way Melon's going to get out of this. Astro or Unipride, too much burst damage. Goodbye, Jinx. Tay, you got to get out of there now. Run. The itsy bitsy spider went up the enemy jungle. Sure enough, will they get away? Well, we're going to find out. Karma trying to pick up the kill. The cocoon's going to land. Tay's going to take the tower damage. The question is, oh, that's going to miss. Oh, this is no good. Tay. I'm just going to keep saying that. Tay's going to feed a free kill over to Unipride. So, Olaf 1-2-2 now. That's not where he wanted that to go. Well, he didn't want to give it up at any case. Maybe not the best route, but does manage to get away, or doesn't manage to get away from that, excuse me. And unfortunately, that's going to be another kill. So 3 kills to 2 now in favor of Detonation FM. Gold, very negligible. Wow. Thanks, voice. Negligible at this point. Because it's only 1,000 gold. And it's really anybody's game. You just got to look at all of the characters across the map. Bloodthirsters on both AD carries. The extra pickaxe will be in favor of Bonzen on his Caitlyn. So that's an always scary Bonzen. In the last game, really doing work with his AD carry. Can he do it again this game? I'm really worried. I was hoping to see more out of this Envy, and he's just not had a chance to really lane like he wanted. And that's kind of set him behind a little bit. If we take a look at Aatrox right now, his Feral Flare stack's now at 17, so he's going to be getting there eventually, but it's a little bit slower. Again, not solo queue. Not nearly as OP where you can just ignore your team for 20 minutes. But it'll come eventually. Tay, on the other hand, 48. He's got his spirit item, his golem there. But again, I don't like this Tay on Elise. Last game, he didn't do a whole lot. This game, he's 0-2-0. So far, just really not liking that. It's not working well for Ozone. The Lee Sin in game 1 worked out a lot better for them. And we just haven't seen him bring it back out. Tay making his way into this bot lane. There was a trap in the bush, so Tay's going to step on that and get spotted out very quickly. Caitlyn's going to make her way away from that. Bonzen nice and safe down there. Blue buff going over to Saros, so now both mids have their blue buff. And again, we've had a few more kills this game compared to game 1 at this point, but all things considered, still pretty quiet. Going to sweep the area for wards. A nice job by Envy there. Some clear coming out from Rio Silva. He's going to get the ward. Altaka's going to get one, but he's got to be real careful. He's actually going to engage a lot coming up. Oh, the hook is just going to miss. It was a beautiful hook. Tried to catch at the end of the flash, actually. Just missed. But they lose a Shyvana ultimate for a mid laner flash. Always worth it once again because Shyvana's going to get her ult back very, very shortly here. As now both teams kind of grouped up in the middle, as both top laners with their teleports going to kind of smack each other around in the top lane, as it's actually pushed very, very far in favor of Detonation FM, and they're pushing in on this mid lane as well. So Ozone doing a pretty good job of keeping those minions cleared, making sure those wards are taken care of as well. You can see Envy trying to catch Aatrox, but Lulu is not the only character in that fight with a slow, as Aatrox doing his very own Lulu impression. And now here comes Ozone trying to push back a little hard. They're going to be able to put a little damage on this turret. Karma going back. Depends on how much wave clear there is. Here comes the teleport. Uniproid's going to come in from behind. Will he be able to do it? A nice box slowed before he's able to use his ultimate. A nice flay. And here comes Shyvana. Unfortunately, it's just going to force Detonation FM back. So nothing coming from that teleport. A nice teleport down. And you can just see Altaka runs right back into that top lane. Oh boy. Oh, and you guys have low volume. Let's get that up, huh? A little bit, anyway. Sorry about that. I know League is not so exciting when you're just listening to some strange man talk about it. But, yeah, right now, gold, again, it's 900. 1 kill, 2 towers in favor of Detonation FM, but that's it. Dragons going, I think, 2 over to Ozone, 1 to Detonation FM at this point. The next dragon will be up in 30 seconds. That's where we might see something happen. You know, it's really the next chance this game has to break open. So far, we've just been having really long games, whether that's the patch, whether that's the way these teams have been playing. I think it's a little bit of both, but nothing too exciting happening at the moment. Shyvana going and finishing that Sunfire Cape, so Aotaka going with the tanky build first, when Udipride playing Shyvana in the last game, actually going for the Blade of the Rune King first. We'll have that blade eventually, but making sure the armor and the magic resist is there before any of the damage actually comes. Already doing actually a lot of damage without the Blade of the Rune King as well. Whereas Olaf, like I said, Udipride going straight for that Blade of the Rune King, and the dragon is live, so here comes Ozone. There are a couple members of Detonation in the area, actually 4 members, all of them, Udipride and Aotaka in the mid lane fighting it out as well. Will they be able to take it? A lot of damage coming out. Asor is going to go real low. Purple team's going to slay the dragon. They're also... Ooh, a beautiful flame stabber is going to come on Aatrox as he responds. Here comes Aotaka. This is a very, very bad fight now for Rio Silva. You saw that was actually Aatrox diving, trying to steal the dragon, was unable to do it, and paid for it with his life. So Ozone picking up a dragon, Ozone picking up a kill. Can they pick up anything else? Tay has to be careful here as Udipride and Rio Silva are going to zone him off of it, off of the creeps here. And Detonation FM doing their best pushing impression here, but I don't think they're going to make it much farther than this, as you can see them start to turn around a little bit. So ping's coming out. Oh, Envy actually getting caught out. Envy having a flash, so a nice pickup by Udipride there, looking for the blue buff. They're going to try and steal that. Might actually have to get away, though. Be very careful. If Alk is able to hit that Q, no, he gets slowed just a little bit and does not land. That would for sure have been a dead Saros, but no, once again, Cinder's going to walk away to live another day. No flash on her either, so very, very dangerous situation trying to steal that blue buff. But again, it's Detonation FM just keeping these lanes pushed. We saw that in Game 1, we saw it in Game 2, we saw it in Game 3. Didn't work out so well the first time. Second time, they were able to follow up and make things happen off of those lane pushes. So far here in Game 3, not a whole lot doing, just keeping the lanes pushed, but giving the farm right into the hands of waiting champions. Most specifically, Shyvana now at 227, the most farm in the game. No kills, no assists, but no deaths either. So gonna keep getting those items, keep getting bigger, gonna keep becoming the dragon she always knew she could be. So again, those of you on Feral Watch, looks like Aatrox sitting at 23 now, so 2 more. He's going to pick up, actually no, going to have to give the blue buff over, so that's not going to go towards his total, but the Wraith is available if he wants it, as Envy now, ooh, they're going to find people in the jungle here if they're not careful. Udipride has to be careful. Aatrox has to be careful. Rio Silva has to be careful. There's a cocoon missing, so actually going to be perfectly fine. Still not impressed with the Tay play. No cocoon, no, not today. Aotaka has to be careful as here comes Astore. We might see a Udipride dragon away impression here, but nope. Backing off a little bit. Envy, Jinx, Elk, all in the area, so Dead FM has to be real careful. Ward is being stood upon, so they know where they are. The question is anything going to happen? This is real dangerous. Allowing Bonzen in the bot lane to push to his heart's content, so actually Ozone is going to back here. Karma Shield means nope, not today, no catch, no flay, as Rio Silva's going to walk away from that one. And we're going to get back in this middle lane, try to pick up some farm, but there's a lot of damage. Actually, that is the bottom lane inhibitor turret going down, so they left Bonzen all alone. They didn't make any fight happen, and a huge misplay from Ozone there, trying to pick someone out in the jungle and pay for it with their inhibitor turret. So now Ozone has to be really careful with that bottom lane. Their inhibitor is open and really can be taken at any time, especially with that Olaf. His teleport's up. He has no reason not to go down and take that turret, but instead he will continue to push in the top lane as a little bit of damage comes out on the mid turret, but Ozone still only 2 turrets. It's the outers and top and bottom mid lane turret still standing. Yet, with that said, the 3-to-1 dragon advantage in favor of Ozone means with an even kill count, it's a 600 gold advantage. So if you really want a little bit more detail on that, let's take a look at where the gold is spread out. So 9,000, 9,000, pretty even on those top laners. In the jungle, Aatrox 7,000 to Tay 5,800. Mid lane, pretty darn close as well. And the carries, there's about 1,000 gold on Melon, so he's really got to try and put that to his advantage. You look at their items, and Caitlyn, same build that Bosman went on Lucian last game. Is actually ult is going to be cut out. He's going to be deathfired. He's going to be ulted. He's going to be double ulted. He's going to live. Oh my goodness. Take a look at that ult. Your lucky day. Going to live with about 30 HP. Walking away from that. Takes 2 ultimates and a deathfire. So because he walks away from that, as long as they don't lose anything else off of it, that's going to be a win for Ozone. Now's their chance to really get in and make something happen. But Detonation FM doing a pretty good job of trying to push in this mid turret. Nope, I lied. Here goes Seros and Aatrox into the jungle. Going to clear out some wards, make sure there's not so much vision on the Baron, and they are making their way up to this Baron. This could be our first Baron attempt of the game. They're walking over a ward, so they have to be careful. Not the worst play. At least you draw some attention to it, and it's going to allow you to Udiproid all over the bottom lane with the teleport available. So Shyvana, Aotaka going down to check that out. Those of you maybe just tuning in, just catching us at the end of one of your other games, this is the JCG Premier League Season 2 semifinals, Ozone Rampage versus Detonation FM. We're coming to you live right now out of Japan. And here is, yeah, exactly, Heal doing work, keeping Elk alive is why he lived in that fight. But neither team really able to capitalize that as you actually look. Oh my goodness. The gold flipping all around. Ozone now taking the lead. They're up by a whole 200 gold, actually. You can see Aotaka and Udiproid both going at it. Still no Blade of the Rune King for Aotaka's Shyvana, opting instead for the Warden's Mail. So he's getting even tankier. The only tank item right now on Olaf is the Giant's Belt. So he's really, his defense is a good offense, as we now see Detonation FM again possibly moving up towards this Baron. That means they're going to give up this free dragon, but they see that happening. They're going to start the Baron. The question is, do they have the damage to finish it in time? Asta Ora is going to take a lot of damage. It's down to about half health. He's got to be real careful doing the Aatrox heal. Here comes the teleport. Oh, this is, if that Q had landed, that would have been very dangerous. That's the ultimate out of Jinx is going to miss, actually. And, well, Ozone has to take that as a win because they stopped the Baron. However, they blew Aotaka's teleport. Udiproid's teleport down as well, however. So, actually canceling that teleport. They stopped the Baron. And now with Detonation FM fairly low, it's going to allow Ozone to push onto this turret. Doing a pretty good chunk of damage. The Blade of the Rune King actually used there on Melon by Olaf, trying to make something happen. Finally a cocoon lands, and it will stop any pursuit from Seros. And we are really in the midst of a nail-biter here, folks. Gold score doesn't matter. Towers don't matter, but Ozone doing their best to try and get onto this middle turret. With a Jinx, they're going to be able to push it fairly quickly. Oh, and there's a hook. This is surely certain death for Rio. So if they pick up one, can they pick up another? Udiproid is in trouble now. He's popped his ultimate, but taking a lot of damage. Syndra's going to flash into the back line. He's actually going to pick up Melon, so a nice kill out of Seros. They have to be so careful, but that will be Udiproid going down. Aotaka's so big. Has to be careful, though, because there's a lot of lifesteal coming out of Asta Ora. Elk has to be really careful on Thresh. Are they going to chase him down? Asta Ora, Bonzen at full health. They're going to find him. They see him. They know he's there. There's the flash. There's the knockup. Here comes the attacks coming out of Bonzen. The Q's going to miss. So when all is said and done, it's a 2-for-2. Ozone does manage to pick up the turret. So it's a 2-for-2 and a turret. So all of a sudden you have to say it's maybe a win for Ozone, but they lose 2 members of their team for it. Both supports actually going down in that, and the only thing, Ozone actually lost their AD carry, so that's why they were unable to really follow up as soon as Melon went down, because Melon is a lot of damage, even at 1-2-4, with a Bloodthirster, a Phantom Dancer, Pickaxe, and Jinx, as being Jinx. you lose a lot of your damage, and that was a really nice play by Saros. Actually flashed into that fight, used his Deathfire Grasp, and just deleted Melon from the map. So if we're gonna do Feral Flare Watch 2014. Only 2 stacks on that Feral Flare, so that's part of the reason why that Baron took so long and why they had to back off it in the first place. Which means Baron is still there, free for the taking. The question is, who's going to win the ward battle? You can see wards all over Baron. There's a trap in there in Baron as well. Eudiproid kind of hanging off, doing his Eudiproid thing. We've seen him do this all day, where he sneaks around, lurks in the shadows. He could probably learn a thing or two from playing Eve. Oh, there's the shield coming out. Will it be enough? I don't know if they're going to be able to catch. Tay's got to be real careful. Actually turns around, is going to get the lantern out of the knockup. So, oh, Elk, you are a beautiful support. And Tay's going to thank you for that, because Tay is just, you know, I don't want to call anybody out, but so far, just not a whole lot happening from Elise in this game. And here's Aotaka getting a little speed boost, running all over the map. They are very afraid of him now. First person in the game to hit 300 farm. Now has the Blade of the Rune King completed, so you thought it was a scary dragon before. It's going to be a very scary dragon. Actually, they're going to slow Aatrox. He's going to get a slow of his own in return. And this could be a very dangerous fight, as we have everybody fighting in the thin confines of the jungle. He's going to... Oh! Asteroid does get hit by the Cocoon. Does get hit by the Chompers. And now, actually, I think Detonation FM is going to have to walk away from this one. However, Aatrox passive is up, so it's not the worst in the world. Actually, the stun's going to miss. There are 4 members here. Aatrox going to lifesteal, actually, off of the race, so he can come back into this fight. And they do realize he's not quite there, so Detonation FM going to back away from this a little bit. Question is, will Ozone be able to make something happen? Look at this. The gold now actually slipping slightly in favor of Ozone. Their continued domination of the jungle right now, or excuse me, of the dragon right now, has just been very, very strong. Alright, we're going to get a few people walking around on this Baron right now. Yeah, so sometime this year, hopefully, the plan is that the Japan server will come out by the end of the year. So keep your eyes open for that. Nothing is set in Sthone. So, alright, here come the pings all around Baron. Ward's being cleared out. Rio Silva rushing his way over there. He's just going to clear this ward out. Are they going to start it? Envy is pretty far away, but it's too dangerous right now. And like I said, Aatrox, there's no stacks on his Feral, so not going to be able to take it down very quickly. The Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer are completed for Caitlyn, along with the Last Whisper, so Bonzon's going to start doing more damage. Only 2-0-0 this game, not, 5-0-3 like he was at some point in time during the last game. But here they go. This is going to be a started Baron for Detonation FM. The question is, will they follow through with it? Will Ozone be able to get there? Let's take a look at his health bar. We couldn't see it. Thanks, dedicated camera. Taken very low, but now they're going to walk out of this. We do have a team fight. Let's take a look at this. A nice hook coming out of Unified. Elk getting in the middle things. A nice box is going to catch all the members of Team Detonation right there. And this is Aotaka. This is Shyvana. Scary, scary dragon. Going to pick Syndra. Going to take an ult to the face. Not going to matter. Astaora is going to go down. So far, nobody on Ozone is actually dead. Rio Silva's got to be very careful. And now look at this with 2 members, Saros and Astaroray of Detonation FM. Ozone's going to turn around, pick this up, and look how much faster they're able to do this with the Jinx, with her attack speed, the Blade of the Rune King being used very effectively. And here comes the teleport to the mid lane. Aotaka's going to get even more farm. And all of a sudden, Ozone has a chance to really blow this game open. The question is, what do they do with it? They pick up Baron. They've got 20 seconds on the death timers. And they're going to go pick up a dragon as well. That'll be their 5th dragon of the game now. So all of a sudden, Ozone doing a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump, celebrating Easter, and jumping out into the lead. All of a sudden, that's a 6k gold lead. So they're going to go back. They're going to buy. None of their towers really in danger right now. Their inhibitor in the bot lane has been open for such a long time, but nothing coming from it. So can actually just see a lot of purchases being picked up there. Randuin's Omen being completed. And a Banshee's on Shyvana, so even scarier now. Warden's being picked up by Elise. Spectre's Cowl actually going on a Jinx after getting blown up by Sero. She does not want to meet Syndra anymore. And actually Spectre's Cowl on Lulu as well needs a bit of that damage. Crucible being used very well by Ulk to keep his teammates alive as well. So right now, Ozone's starting to pull out ahead. You know, they, I think, have the better late game composition as well, so they can wait for that, or they can try and force something now. Either way, right now, I'm just going to keep saying right now, Ozone starting to look real good. All they got to do is close this out. And you just, if you look at those top laners right now, Eudoproid a whole item behind on the Shyvana, and Tay really being another tank, and really that's what Tay needs to do right now, because he's been having a rough time catching people with those cocoons, and Elise does enough damage even without damage items. So look at just with the Banshees being popped but not taking a whole lot of damage. Envy's gonna step on a trap, get a nice little shield around himself as well to not take as much damage. The Q, oh, the beautiful Q is gonna hit. That's good by Rio Silva. Ozone picks up a free kill. That's what they've got to do. They get the pick. That's going to be a nice chance for them to push. Olaf, Eudoproid trying to push that top turret. He does have his teleport available. But look at them come in. Look at the damage. Actually, that was a beautiful stun coming out of Syndra. They need every little bit they can get to keep Melon off of that turret. And that will be the turret being dropped. But look at going so deep. Aotaka so big, hitting the rocket. Hard to miss your rocket when there's a giant dragon in the way. It's a single, it's a 2 kills picked up. Astor is surely going to go down. Here comes the teleport out of Olaf, but he will go down. 4 members down. This could very well be the game. Ozone's going to take the inhibitor. All they have left is Eudoproid. He wasn't there for that fight. He stuck around in the top lane too long. They're just going to ignore him. Eudoproid's going to go pick up his axe. I think he knows this game is over. GG. All of a sudden, we went from the closest game we've had all night to a complete blowout. All it took was one dead Karma, and that's Karma for you, ladies and gentlemen. GG, congratulations to Ozone Rampage in the best of 3 here. Semifinal for JCG, tied at 1 game apiece. Ozone Rampage comes out hard and takes game 3. They're going to be moving on to the championship game next weekend, facing off against Rascal Jester. So, wow. Congratulations. That was kind of a fast game by our standards tonight, 40 minutes. And I'm going to let you go pretty quick here. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with me. Thank you, Ichiro. My voice is going to hate me tomorrow. This is why you should never cast solo. And everybody go find Ferlin on Facebook and Twitter and tell her to come back. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, everybody. That was JCG. We're going to be back same time next weekend. It'll be me. I don't know if Fairland's going to be around next weekend either, but I'm going to try and find somebody to help me out. But yeah, we'll be back next week. It will be Ozone Rampage versus Rascal Jester, arguably the top 2 teams in Japan. It's going to be right here. So follow us here on Twitch. You can follow me on Facebook or Twitter at Swans. I think it's written on the screen right now. But in any case, like I said, I'm super, super glad you could come join us. It's 11:30. Probably going to go play some League myself. Yeah, that's it. So that's been it. じゃあもしかしてまた日本人の方多分もう見てる可能もあるかないか、まあそういう可能あったらまだ見てるなら見てくれてありがとうございました。これで今日の試合は終了して。来週の土曜日同じ時間に8時からラスカルジェスター対オゾンランページ優勝、まあ、チャンピオンシップで誰が優勝するか決めるからぜひ来週も見てください。Alright, like I said, that's going to be it from me signing out from Japan this evening for the Japan Competitive Gaming Premier League. It was a great fight, and in the end, it goes down to Ozone. That's it. All I got for you. Give Flying Lotus a hard time in the chat room on your way out, and have a good day, evening, wherever you happen to live. And we'll be back next Saturday, 8 p.m. Japan time. I believe that's 6 a.m. Eastern time. So see you next time, guys. Thanks. All right, that was not true at all. I just put up the game 3 slide and it was supposed to start at 10, but these games have been so long. Stick with me, ISP. Give me bandwidth. We'll see. Pretend you never saw that screen, okay? Let's just pretend that never happened. Boy, we're having some very long games tonight. So that was Detonation FM going to take game 2, which means we are taking this to a... I'm still kind of iffy on the connection. We'll see. I will try to be with you. Good night, Allie. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, my goodness. Please, please, please don't do this to me. All right, so this is JCG Premier League semifinals. It's Ozone Rampage versus Detonation Detonation FM, Dead FM, blah, 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 blah. Best of 3 series. Ozone takes the first game. Detonation FM takes game 2 very convincingly. And really, it was a completely different Soraka we saw in game 2. Game 1, she didn't really exist. In game 2, she turned her team into an unstoppable juggernaut. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, Viral-esque, if we do see a Soraka ban, because that was, you know, a huge reason. Bonzen played well, Udipride played well, but Death will shut down even the strongest of carries, and Soraka just didn't let them die. It was it was really, really, I don't even have words for that. That was absolutely well played by Detonation FM. I'm very excited to watch game 3. I'll tell you, the only thing I'm disappointed about is that we have a game 3, because I did 3 games solo. Well, I don't need to talk tomorrow anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, so you are watching, I'll just keep saying this, you're watching JCG Premier League. This is the semifinals. I am Corey Swanson, Flying Lotus in the chat, moderating. Why won't you join me? As we are getting ready here for game 3. I know it's getting late or early, depending on where you are. It's 10:30 here in Japan. But we will be bringing you game 3. And I hope my upstairs neighbor doesn't hate me for streaming all night. But yeah, I think we're going to just take probably about a 5-minute break. Make sure everybody gets in here. Everybody probably needs a break after playing all these games. I need a break as well. So I think my internet is being okay. I'm going to take a quick break, go grab some water again, and I will be right back. See, I can't even talk anymore. I'll be right back, and we'll be bringing you game 3 here in just a moment. No, I can't believe that layer was on top. I feel like an idiot. Oh, in any case, we are back with the JCG LoL Premier League Season 2 semifinal. I am Corey Swanson. Thanks for joining us. And this is our second semifinal. It's Detonation FM versus Ozone Rampage. Yesterday, it was Detonation Rabbit 5 versus Rascal Jester. Rascal Jester won. Rabbit 5, I don't think actually showed up. So it'll be Rascal Jester in the finals next weekend, next Saturday, facing off against whoever wins here in Game 3. So we're just getting all the members into our lobby ready to go here real quick. And we will have picks and bans for you coming up momentarily. じゃあ多分最後になりますが、これは JCG のプレミアリーグの配信です。こんばんは。デトネーション FM とオゾンランページ、これから3試合目やりますので、日本語の配信もあるから、それ twitch.tv/JCGLL か、またニコ生でも多分配信してると思いますので、まあ日本語で見たいならそこで見ていただいて、もし英語で見たいなら私と一緒にこれから3試合目をこれからやるつもりだからここでも見てください。Boy, sorry, it's really hard to think tonight. My brain is shutting off, but we are here. You can probably hear the music, so let's do picks and bans. Huh? Good idea? Good idea. It'll be Jax. It'll be Nidalee. Who else are we gonna see? Ziggs actually getting banned out, so they do not want to play against Envy Ziggs. Will Elks Thresh be banned this time around? Will we see Soraka banned? Rai's gonna be banned, so those have not changed all throughout this evening. Kazakh's going to be banned as well, so that leaves the last ban here for Ozone. Who is it going to be? And it will be... There is no Caitlyn ban, so if Melon wants to play Caitlyn, this is his game to do it. Because I would be very surprised if Ozone bans Caitlyn out here. Hi. All right, it's 1-1, a lot of maple, so Caitlyn left open. Soraka gets banned, and Udiproid actually takes Caitlyn for his team. So, sorry, Melon. You are not going to have a chance to play Caitlyn tonight, I'm sorry. And that's really unfortunate for Ozone, because that, I think, is Melon's strongest champion. But it will, of course, that does leave Thresh open. Ozone has to take Thresh here. Alk played so well with Thresh and just was not very effective on Liliana. Granted, they didn't really have the team to follow up the engage. They just fell too far behind. And I like this. Ozone is going to take away Shyvana and not let Udiproid have that. So it'll be interesting to see what Udiproid will pick up against that Shyvana. Maybe a Renekton, since Jax and Ryze are both banned out. So let's see what Detonation has in store here for picks 2 and 3. Taking our sweet time, and it will be Rio Silva on Karma again, so that's going to be 3 games in a row for Rio Silva and his Karma. Asta Ore looks to maybe pick up this Aatrox in the jungle again. Ooh, dinner. And yeah, it looks like it will be an Aatrox locked in, so not yet going to show their hand in the mid and the top lane. Who is Seros going to pull out this time? It'll be interesting to see. And who are they going to put in that top lane against Shyvana? So that top lane's already decided. Bot lane decided, so maybe they want to... Ozone wants to pick up their own jungler in bot lane here. Keep their mid lane a secret as well. It will probably looks to be Melon on Jinx again. Lucian, wow, I can already feel it. Lucian is available if that's something they want to pick up, but Melon has been playing a lot of this Jinx and looks to probably stay with the Jinx again. He's going to have to start hitting more of his ultimates, and Tay picking up Elise. I was not impressed with his play in game 1 or game 2, his first game of Elise. We'll have to see how it goes here in game 2. Maybe a Syndra. So Saros does play a lot of Syndra, so this wouldn't be surprising at all. And it's been a while since I have seen a top lane Olaf. Definitely fits with Eudeproid's playstyle of kind of going ham. Nothing like going ham with a giant Viking. So if they decide to lock these picks in, it's going to be a very interesting lineup for Detonation FM. They've got the dive ability. Yeah, it's going to be Olaf locked in. So it's going to be Olaf and Aatrox able to go at those backlines. And if Syndra and Karma can use some of their own peel with the knockback and with the Mantrid Qs to keep people off of Eudeproid's, or not Eudeproid, Bonzen's Caitlyn in the back, it's going to go very well for Detonation FM. It's going to come down a lot to how Ozone targets. Last game, they had trouble finding Lucian. This time, they're going to have an even harder time finding Caitlyn because she has a longer range. So it all comes down here. Who is Ozone going to put in the mid lane? Who is Envy going to get to take up against Saros' Syndra? And we might see a Lulu. I like this pickup a lot, but will it go through? Well, 5 seconds says yes, it will. Let's see if those 5 seconds were right. And indeed, it looks like that Lulu is going to be locked in. All right, so as they get their champions flipped around here a little bit, let's take a look at who's going to be where. It will be a bot lane consisted of Caitlyn and Karma going up against the bot lane of Jinx and Thresh in the mid lane. It will be Syndra taking on the happy-go-lucky Lulu in the jungle. Aatrox again. Asteroid's going to be on that. Aatrox played a lot better game 2 than he did game 1 with Aatrox. So which Aatrox are we going to see versus Tay's Elise? I'm not super convinced over. And in the top lane, it's going to be Shyvana versus Olaf. So taking a look at these teams again, you know, you almost just want to give it wherever Shyvana goes because she's such a pain in the butt right now. And there's a lot in terms of survivability. The Lulu ultimate's going to help keep people alive this time as well. The box is going to keep people off of Melon. And Melon played very, very well in game 1. Was dead a lot of game 2. But I think has a good chance to maybe come back and roll through here in game 3 versus the lineup of Detonation FM. It'll be interesting. Saros on Syndra. I know he plays a lot of Syndra. I've watched him play a lot of Syndra. And he definitely has his ups and downs with Syndra. So we'll have to see if that carries through. Other than that, I don't know. Eudeproid and his Olaf is... We'll see. But watch, both of these top laners are going to be taking teleport. This time, Saros, not Soraka, so he's going to opt for the Ignite instead of the heal. So it'll be 2 heals on both teams. An Ignite in the mid lane, and then, of course, Jungler taking Smite. No surprise there. We're just going to get this underway. Oh, let's do this. I can do this. And then you can see them too. Ta-da! But yeah, so we just have the delay winding down here. Yeah. Lulu-chan will win. If he gets 2 lane against Syndra, Envy should carry this. All right, I'm holding you two to this. Let's see what Envy can do. Envy's played pretty well. He was all right in game 2, not quite as dominant, but I think a lot of that was just because his team wasn't able to allow him to dominate so much in game 2. But at this point, it's all moot, because this is going to be game 3 in a best-of-3 series. It's tied up 1-1 apiece right now. So, yeah, we'll definitely see how this goes. When we get in a game, actually, guys, if you can remind me, I don't think I have colorblind mode. Or do I? Do I have it on? No, I don't know if I have it on. Is colorblind mode red? Somebody help me. If I need to change that, I will. I apologize if you haven't been able to see the teams. Or is blue and I don't know. Somebody help me figure that out. But we will be jumping the game very, very shortly here. The delay. It's always the delay. Gets you every time. I don't know. Who do you think, guys? I've got 2 votes here on Ozone. And now I've got one guy saying Saros is a fairly good Syndra, though. So who's going to take it? Who do you think? Type it out in chat. Will it be Ozone Rampage taking game 3 and moving on to the finals against Rascal Jester? Or will Rascal Jester get to face off against their longtime rivals in Detonation FM? All right. Well, we're going to get the loading screen up here very, very shortly. Let's make sure everything else is working here. Hi, welcome back. It's JCG. Like I said, this is going to be the last game. So if you're just joining us, it's all tied up at 1 game apiece. If you are not just joining us, if you've been around for all of this, thanks for stopping by and thanks for sticking around. We really appreciate it. I am Corey. You can call me Swans. I don't know if it's actually a good name. Somebody suggested it once, and I took it. And normally we're here with Ferlin Yoshimi. She's not around tonight, so if you came to see her beautiful face, I apologize. Oh, I'll do this again, I guess. Da-da-da, there's Fer here. So she's off doing things tonight, so she's not here, which makes all of us very sad pandas, I'm sure. But, yeah. Why don't we jump into game? Because that looks like it's starting. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. JCG. This is game 3 of a best-of-3 Season 2 semifinal game versus Ozone Rampage. Ozone Rampage versus Detonation FM. Looks like this time around we will be seeing both teams in the top side of the map. Maybe a little repeat of that game 1 sweet level 1 action. Spider coming out. Spider being spotted. They know where Tay is. That bush is as peaceful as it ever will be, as it's had peace made over. Aotaka actually standing outside the bush. This is very dangerous. Saros is here, so both teams should have a read on where each other are. The question is, will they try and make something happen? Detonation FM looks to maybe just back away from this, keep everything a little bit safe. The question is, will Ozone follow up? Very dangerous move there out of Aotaka to check that bush on his own. And you can actually see Detonation FM, a very nice rotation down to the bottom side of the map. Question is, are they going to stick with their own red or go across and look for the blue steal? I would assume a blue steal. There is a ward there from Ozone, so if they decide to go, they will be caught out, but it's a lot of this delayed invade sort of deal. At this point, even if they see Detonation out there, Ozone really has to stick with the plan and go basically trade blues. And it looks like that will be the case. They spot all of Detonation on that ward, which means free time to go check out a blue buff of their own. And they're off. Here goes the blue buff. All right. And of course, the junglers are going to pick up the blue buffs as they should. Well, top laners get to play. It's take your top laner to the jungle day. Is what it is. So you'll see both members. Actually, no, look at this. It's Rio Silva is going to be accompanying going to be accompanying Asteroid into the bottom jungle as Eudiproid's left to his own devices in the top lane. So it's going to be interesting. What? So it's actually 3 members in the bot lane right now. They're going very, very hard. And it's not the jungler, it's the top lane. So this might actually be the 4-man push we saw in OGN last week. And look at Eudiproid. This is actually exactly what we saw in OGN last week. Not only taking a tower hit, 1 for his minions, the rest you might say were a little early. Well, when he's that low at health, his attack speed is ridiculous. He's actually got to be real careful to not go down to this cannon minion. Look at him getting attacked. He's going to lose aggro there. It's now a 4v4 push. And with a Caitlyn able to push so fast, and with an Olaf, such attack speed coming out of that passive. Look at that turret go down. We're 3 minutes into the game. And the top turret for Detonation FM still at half health. So Ozone's really got to figure out what they're going to do if they're going to give up the second turret, because Detonation is pushing so hard. You can actually see them recalling now. They're going to try and get the top turret and try and save this bottom one, but it's already gone so low. Surely this will go down, and it's going to be 4 minutes, 2 turrets for Detonation FM. So I absolutely, honestly hate 4v0s. Double tower pushes, but when they work, and that was very, very well executed by Detonation FM. The question is, how are they going to now respond to it? As actually the top tower is still up for Detonation, and look at this, 2 towers, a 4-minute dragon. Honestly, at 4 minutes, the dragon's not worth so much to your team, but if you can do it, why not? It makes for good viewing. There goes the dragon, 2 towers, a dragon. We're 4 minutes into the game with a 2,000 gold lead. Whew. And they're not done, as look at them rotating into the mid lane. There is a Lulu, there is a Thresh, Tay is here as well, so they're going to do their best to try and keep them off, but Saros is here. Bonzen's going to be able to put some damage onto this turret as well. The only thing they don't have is Olaf. Olaf, of course, getting so low to get the attack speed, having to go back to base. But gonna do a bit of damage onto this mid turret, and right now Ozone really on the back foot, just trying to catch up to Detonation all over the map right now. Ooh. All right, and there's the sweeping lens picked up already for Karma, so gonna try and keep those wards out of the way. And yeah, right now, honestly, this was something I don't think Ozone was expecting, and they look a little lost. Aotaka able to get into this bottom lane now. And Melamela making his way into the top lane. Has to be careful, taking quite a bit of damage from Eudiproid as we make sure all of these characters are sorted properly down on the bottom for your viewing pleasure. And the only thing right now that's going well for Ozone is because Olaf spent so much time pushing towers and left Shyvana her own free wave down there. She's up 20 farm, but at the moment, I think Detonation is going to be happy with the tower lead and continue to just push. Look at this push in the mid lane. That's what you do when you have a Caitlyn. You're able to take these towers so quickly. The damage coming out from Rio Silva. Even Elk landing the Q can't go in on that. It's too scary because he would get blown up. The Piltover Peacemaker's coming across. Tay taking very low. Look at the damage. Syndra putting her own stamp of damage on top of that as well. Wow. Well, you can't say we are not having fun here in Game 3. That's for sure. Rio Silva doing his best. Just, oh man. Rio Silva's Karma has been so good all night. So much damage. Saros, like I was saying, we either see good Saros Syndra or we see bad Saros Syndra. Right now, he's looking real good, as Rio Silva actually, though, getting caught on the Flame Chompers, taking a lot of damage, as Melamela takes a lot of damage in his own right. And Olaf now getting a chance to get some of that farm back. He is down 30 to Shyvana, as she has now started rotating around the map. No, she's actually going to back. And boy, we are getting a very, very interesting game now. Bonzen looks to maybe head into that top lane, get some of the free farm for himself. And Ozone, again, like, they still just look like they don't know what to do. So they're going to put the ward down. They're going to try and get this blue buff. They should have no problem getting it. There's nobody from Detonation FM close to really try and pick up a steal. So that should go over to Envy. That's going to help Envy out a lot. Lulu with blue buff is a... Wait a minute. Okay, so she did get it. They did it right. It just looked a little suspicious, but everything is all right in the land of Ozone Rampage for the time being. Now, you can actually see Olaf doing a pretty good job of trying to catch back up and farm here. But Aotaka also getting farm. They're both level 6 right now. Mid lane, both mid laners as well have hit level 6. We're still waiting on them from the rest of the lanes. Real Sylvax at level 3, so he's been spending so much time walking around the map, not getting those levels. The nice thing about Karma is level 6 isn't really super ultimate level for you, because you start with that. The ping's coming out. Tay being called out, walking over a few wards in his own jungle. And actually, look at Eudiproid here, just pushing this lane all the way up to the inhibitor turret already. And Shyvana really doesn't have any good way to deal with that yet. So, has not gone back to buy items. Look at the damage coming out on Tay. Actually has to flash the hook. That was a beautiful hook coming out from Elk. So, does get a little damage down onto the spider, but going to take a little bit of damage in his own right and has to blow a summoner because of it. And Shyvana really needs to go back and get some items, but right now the lane is just so pushed. She's got to pick up that farm while she can. A lot of damage coming out. 2 ultimates used on Thresh, but he's going to get wild growth and walk away from that one. A giant happy demon soul collector. All right, and look at this. It's Detonation FM with a 5-man push now in the mid lane. And there's no way that Ozone's going to be able to defend against this. The Q misses. Take is taken very low. He has nowhere to repel to, so he's got to be very careful. Here comes the Dragon. Aotaka, actually a beautiful ultimate across there, but going to take a lot of damage in its own right. Flash is being blown by both teams as they try and get away from this. So far, no kills going down. Everybody looks to get away from it safe and happy. There was no real melon for that fight. And it was... gonna end up... Oh, look at this. Standing on a ward. Eudiproid has to be very careful. The Q's gonna land. This could be first blood. Eudiproid taking so much damage. That's gonna be first blood going across to Envy. The beauty of wards. You cannot recall there. There's always a ward in that bush. If you don't know, just assume there is. And that's gonna help Ozone a lot. They needed that first blood. Not only did they get first blood, they got it onto Envy. Envy is going to carry this team if Ozone wins. And right now, actually having trouble laning against that Syndra. Down 20 farm already. You look at farm across the board. Shyvana doing a good job of farming. So Aotaka actually out-farming Eudiproid this game, which is kind of what we saw in Game 1, not in Game 2, as Ozone now tries to pick up Dragon. It's 10 minutes. You'd assume this would be the first Dragon of the game. It's actually Dragon number 2, and they are going to try and get it. Can they? The damage should be enough. Eudiproid is here. Ultimate coming out on Elk. He's going to be taken low, but will walk away from it. The shield coming out. Tay has to be careful, however. Eudiproid doing so much damage. The ball's going to land. Tay. No. Ooh, it was a beautiful repel, but going to hand the kill over to Bonzen. So, just getting caught out a little bit. The slows coming out clean and consistent from Eudiproid. Real nice there, but at the end of the day, all said and done, it's 3 towers in favor, or 2 towers, 3-1 towers in favor of Detonation FM. But gold, not so different. It's about a 1,000 gold difference right now. And with a 2-tower difference, you know, you look at the kills, it's 1-1. Dragon's 1-1. Also in favor, or not in favor, if it's 1-1, that means they're tied. So a pretty even game right now, and Ozone is staying in it because they're doing a good job of farming. The only problem, again, like I said, this Lulu, there's just been so many people in mid lane right now. It's been so hard for her to get anything done. The scary thing right now for Detonation FM, they have to be so careful because they are giving Aotaka a free lane. They are giving Shyvana free reign of whatever she wants to do in that bottom lane, picking up all the farms she wants. Actually, the most farm in the game right now.